if you recall, back in October, I on New Tracks, I had a program on the Len Eberwein's scratch-built coal tower, O scale. And Len Eberwein um, donated all of his museum quality models to me. And I'm his caretaker, I guess, going forward till I turn them over to somebody at some point. But for those of you that have not seen this museum quality scratch built tipple, I'm going to go through a brief bunch of slides on it, and then jump to how I'm going to install it on the rustic buff and old Gothic, which is quite involved. First off, it's a very large structure. It's nearly 2 feet high. It's 18 inches deep, and it's 14 inches wide. It is an impressive structure. It makes a statement walking by it. And he spared no expense on his time getting everything just right. It is a gorgeous model. And like I say, he's the perhaps the best modeler you've never heard of. I mean, look at it just, sometimes I just stare at it. It's just so well made. Each, the rivet detail on the, or the bolt detail on the railings, the overall color scheme. This has an interior to it. It's just a beautiful, this is all hand carved balsa foam. This is a actual metal roofing. It's all weathered properly. One of my issues to our audience is I can't find this stone. It looks like quartz. Len can't remember where he got it from. If anybody has any clue where I might get that, I'd be most appreciative. This is some of the interior detail, a close-up I took. There's some of that. That's the stone. So it looks like fish tank material almost. If anybody has any idea where to get that, let me know. Gorgeous model. Now here's where I'm going to put it. This is the town of Turtle Creek on my model railroad. And these are snapshots, as much as I hate showing ceilings and the bench work, but I just want you to know where it's going. So my shanty town is to the right down the tracks. To the left is Turtle Creek. This is a tunnel that I've been working on, and there's going to be a shelf layout within the On30. This is On30 up here, but I bought Walther's HO track up here. I wanted a different look to it than my main line or my main railroad. So this is a shelf layout within the rustic buff and old Gothic. That's the idea. These are just preliminarily laying in there. As the project develops, so this is looking in the other direction. So if you're looking more or less out the window of the coal tipple, this would be the town of Turtle Creek, across the covered bridge into Shantytown. So the first thing I had to do was extend my fascia here. This kind of like making a puzzle. So I cut all these little pieces and I filled it, I painted it. And this is where I'm going to locate up high at this level, the coal tipple. So this was already in place. And the first thing I had to do is put in a little piece here. So originally I was not going to have anything like a coal tipple here. So using a foam glue, I put some glue in there, and then I put my first piece of 2-inch foam in place. And I did the same thing, put the second piece of foam in place. Then I put in the third piece of foam in place. This is from my old N scale days, but it looked perfect in here for a tunnel liner. Looked like concrete. So there's my basically my base. Then I put Sculpt-A-Mold on it. And then using Hunter Line shale, I began painting it. Then I reminded myself I have to ballast the tunnel tracks because I want the inside of the tunnel to be finished. I think I pointed out on my other tunnels, I like to have tunnel liners and a finished tunnel. In case I ever use a camera car or somebody looks in there, you don't see pink foam, you don't see raw wood. You'll see it's completely finished when I'm done here today. This is my collection of materials I use. So I ballast this with a coarse, it's a limestone buff color. And then cinders here. I use Elmer's glue and Woodland Scenics cement. So I put down the Elmer's glue, I lay in the ballast, then I soak it with Woodland Scenic cement. There's many ways to do ballast. That's how I do it. Then I wanted that, see how that shale is just too bland. I took this medium brown Hunter Line dye, alcohol wash, and I began painting it. It came up with a very nice look, like it's a cut, like they actually cut it out. That's the location of the tipple. It's sitting on plywood. And now I began, I have a tunnel portal here that'll be concrete, as you'll see. I began making my tunnel portal out of, this is actually basswood. So it's glued in there with this foam glue. That's looking the other way. So this is looking one way, looking the other way. And now I began to make my tunnel portal, the boxing it in with basswood. Well, this is actually, yeah, this is basswood, and these are 1/4-inch material. These screws are just temporary to the glue sets. So I built a box basically, and then I had the brainstorm to put in LED lighting in that tunnel. I don't know why, I just decided to do it. So I got out my soldering paraphernalia, and about every 6 inches, I put in these blue LED lights. And that's actually just natural lighting. That's the blue with power going to them, 3 volts. Not sure whether I'll ever turn it on, but that's what I got. This engine house is going to go right here. This is the concrete tunnel portal that I'm beginning to make with plywood. I will put cardstock over it, and it will look like concrete when I'm done. Didn't realize that was the last slide. So it's going to be a there'd probably be a half a dozen segments in this between the engine house, the concrete on the outside here, the track work, control panels, the tortoise machines. Just it's the next phase of my layout. I'm working from one end of the room to the other. Any questions?
Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
if you don't like that bluish light, crazy thing I did one time was used a nail polish on the light lens
Uh-huh.
to dull it down like an amber color.
There's a good idea because it's pretty
Just the way
wild.
that bluish light don't look right.
I know, and I can't get to them now, so who knows? It was one of those ideas that, hey,
Hey, you don't know unless you try.
it's a little late now though, but
But I did try it, and it kind of worked. It kind of got rid of that bluish light to it.
yeah, well, I'll give that a shot next time.
Then you can reach in there with a paintbrush and get it before you get done.
Tom, you mentioned that you used balsa foam for the stonework.
Yes, well, Len did, yes. But
Okay, what is that?
it looks like
Where do you get it?
well, there's Dick Blick Art Store, for example. They have it. It's a carvable foam that's a little denser than, say, what you might find at Hobby Lobby for plants and things. It's a very fine, dense, coarse-looking foam, and
Okay,
Len Eberwein has used it in multiple models. It's about 20 feet from me. I could go get a piece, but it's just Dick Blick Art Store has it.
very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions? This is going to be a really exciting project, and I urge you to investigate the Thomas Yorke Frenchman River Model Works engine house. I mean, speaking of master model builders, there's probably none better than Thomas Yorke. And now you have the opportunity, if you need an engine house, to get it at a 20% discount. Frenchman River Model Works, go right to their website.